Okay, I just thought while I'm out here, do a quick video on breathers. Just to, I know it's a fairly rudimentary thing with a lot of people, but I thought I'd just go over it. Had a bit of a question on one of the forums, and I thought I'd go over it with everyone as to what diff breathers are and why you would extend them. Important to remember that it's not just your diffs that have breathers, it's your gearbox and also your transfer case. So let's say you'll have 4 in total on a 4-wheel drive: front and rear diff, gearbox and transfer case. It is a bit of an oversimplification, but essentially what all those 4 have in common, they're essentially a metal casing with gears inside, and just basic oil to lubricate the gears while the gears are moving. Okay, so once you've been driving, all those 4 components they're going to start to get a bit of heat in them. And what happens when those components heat up is the metal expands, and they actually just increase in size only by a minuscule amount. As they increase in size, the volume inside that the casing is going to increase as well, and it's going to mean that there's going to be that volume inside is going to need to be taken up with something, and that's going to be air. Now that temperature can vary. If you were to drive into a cold creek, that metal is going to obviously cool down as well, and then the metal is going to constrict, and then there's going to be a need for that air to flow in and out of the breather. Now essentially all the breather is, it's just a tube like a snorkel that just runs from the top of the diff housing or the axle housing just to a high point in the vehicle, so that no water goes in through the through that tube. Okay, so here's the front diff as an example. Okay, so that tube that you can see just there, that connects up to the diff housing just there. Okay, now if you follow that up, that goes up and it gets to about the top of the shock tower. I'll just move this piece of bodywork out of the way, and you'll see that there where that hose clamp is, that's where it goes to. That's the factory height. So basically all I've done is I've just used fuel line and a fuel line connector and just push those together with a connector and just put hose clamps on it, and that's all I've done to extend it. This is the other end of it. It just comes up here. The tube follows up here. I've got it to that sort of highest point in the engine bay right there, just at the back of the top of the firewall just there. And that little cap there, that's designed to stop water coming in the top, but because I've extended it, it's very highly unlikely that water's going to come in there anyway. Okay, these 2 ones here, they're just the extensions. I've done the same thing with that's the rear diff, and that one's the transfer case. And this one over here, that's actually the top of the breather for the gearbox. That's the factory position for the breather and the gearbox. That's just the top of the engine bay. I've just taken off the engine cover there so you can see it. So the factory, there's no need to extend the factory one. It's obviously plenty high enough, as you can see, right at the top of the engine there. And basically the reason why we extend it is just so that we reduce the risk of any water coming in through those breather tubes. Okay, so I'll just add this: if you're not driving seriously deep water crossings, there's no reason to do this modification. So if you did find it helpful, do me a favour, just click the like button down the bottom, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and yeah, we'll catch you next one.